Because he is me!
In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the world of the beloved Shrek franchise and explore some of the hidden gems that might have slipped by unnoticed in the spin-off film Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. From Easter eggs to character cameos, we've got everything covered for fans of all ages. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover the secrets of the beloved fairy tale world.
Do you mind trying to eat here? I mean, meow, whatever.
Oh, sorry.
People who have already seen the movie are also happy to see Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey make an appearance. Also, some fans think they have hidden clues about Shrek 5. We'll talk about that in this video. Stay tuned to find out all the details, and don't forget to click the button to subscribe. Honestly, before we talk about Shrek's 5 hidden clues, we want to say a few words about the new Puss in Boots movie. It's directed by Joel and Hanuel, and we have to say that it's not a sequel to any of the Shrek movies. It's mostly a follow-up to the 2011 movie Puss in Boots, which isn't a bad thing. The main plot point of the movies is that Puss is told he's almost out of his 9 lives. Scared, Puss tries to get his lives back by going after the last wish, but the kitty and the other fairy tale characters like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears and Big Jack Horner also want it. Along the way, there are many flashbacks and references to other Shrek movies. Speaking about the new movie in one of his interviews, the director said, "I want to bring as much truth to Puss world as possible. There is this excitement. It's so fun, the nostalgia of Shrek, and to have these little cameos of characters from that world. But we are very cognizant of the fact that this is a Puss in Boots movie. This is his journey." He also added, "And we don't want it to be just like, remember this character, remember this one?" Which is a good point.
Well. If it isn't Puss in Boots himself.
Let's finally talk about the supposed Shrek 5 movie's hidden clues. There are a few hints about the Shrek 5 movie, but the most obvious one comes at the very end of the movie. Puss finally gets what he wants and he is controlled by Death, so he decides to give up the chance for more lives and face his own death. Death knows that Puss has changed a lot as he comes to terms with the fact that he will die. Puss goes back to Kitty and Paretto, but also gives Big Jack Horner a chance to make trouble. So he takes the last wish. Goldilocks, the 3 Bears, and Puss, Kitty, and Paretto work together to beat Horner, but the last wish gets destroyed. Puss, Kitty, and Paretto go on a ship across the ocean, and Puss tells everyone that they got to see some of his old friends. The camera then turns to show the sign for Far, Far Away, and then the Shrek theme also plays. The next very obvious clue is that Shrek and Donkey show up even though they don't talk, and there isn't a clear scene with Shrek after the credits. But we find the scene a major tease for Shrek 5 anyways. This could give the next Shrek story a new start, and many fans agree with that. Additionally, consider the fee that the studio would be required to pay Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy for a 2-second cameo. The audience is always happy to hear their voices, but if a sequel is coming soon, it might not have been worth it. When Puss meets Death for the first time, he sees their lives flash before his eyes at the same time. As he remembers, there's a quick shot of the 3 characters silhouetted against a bright moon, like in the song Hakuna Matata. In Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, this is the only time you will see the characters, but it's just enough. We start revealing the hidden clues from the very end of the movie because they are the most obvious. Now let's go back to where Puss and Boots' last wish all began.
If you wanted to hold my hand, all you had to do is ask.
In the beginning of the movie, after Puss is killed by a giant bell, he goes to see a doctor. The doctor tells him that he has no more lives left, and this is where you'll find one of the clues. Puss keeps having memories of how he died in the past, when they were cooking something in the big oven and the Ginger Man was involved in one of the deaths. When they opened the oven, flames came out and they are likely to kill them both. Fans are sure that this is also a hidden clue about the new Shrek movie. Even though it's not the most fun thing to watch, there's also Pinocchio who shows up in the movie. Gingy shows up when Puss is talking about how he died 8 times. On the other hand, Pinocchio shows up in a flashback when Big Jack Horner is talking about why he collects magic items. The idea is that when Horner was little, he and Pinocchio would both perform, but since Pinocchio was a magical puppet, he would get more people to watch than Horner. Again, the moment is very brief, but it's still a thrill for longtime Shrek affiendos. Next, it's is a bit harder to notice, but you should pay close attention to the scene when Puss's doctor finishes examining him, then allows him to leave the room. After Puss's doctor checks him out, he leaves the room and passes by a few people in the waiting room on his way out. One of them is the Wicked Witch, who has been in more than one Shrek movie. It's a quick cameo that you might miss, but it still links the world of Puss to the world of Shrek.
Dragon goes under the bridge, through the loop, and finally into the castle.
The second Shrek movie improved on everything that was clever and magical about the first one. The new Puss in Boots movie does the same thing, making it the best in the series since Puss was first introduced. It is less about reality and even more about touching themes and story-like style. It has a mythical quality that hasn't been seen since the first Shrek movies, before they were constantly referencing pop culture. Since Puss in Boots 2 breaks a Shrek rule and makes Puss deal with the fact that this is his last life, the story can have more weight. Since Shrek 2, when jokes, callbacks, and references started to take over the story of the big green ogre and his friends, the franchise has been plagued by a lack of depth and drama. The movies should have moved on from the themes of prejudice and intolerance to new themes about fitting in as the characters adjusted to their new roles in the kingdom. Instead, the movies got lazy. Puss in Boots 2 tells a story, and even though it's funny, there's a message at the heart of it. Thanks to the success of the new Puss in Boots movie, there is still hope for the Shrek series. From a business point of view, the success of the box office makes Shrek 5 inevitable and shows that people still want to see more movies with the legacy characters. Since Puss in Boots 2 is a return to form from the franchise, it's possible that even after 10 years, there will finally be a new Shrek movie. Even though the last few Shrek movies haven't done so well, focusing on what's new and different about the IP might actually help it last longer in the long run. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is an underdog that beats the odds, especially for a sequel that has been in the works for so long. It has great voice acting, a heartfelt message, and beautiful animation. Antonio Banderas and Mike Myers have talked about Shrek 5, and if it ever gets made, it should look at how Puss in Boots 2 brought new life and excitement to a tired franchise. Who knows, maybe the Shrek movies have a longer life than fans think. We bet you're wondering if the director of Last Wish will make Shrek 5, and the answer is that it can happen. Yeah, we know it's been a while since we heard anything from Shrek 5, but Michael, who wrote the script, just told us that he's done. I finished writing that script, which I love so much. This is very important to me, he said. There's a pretty big innovation behind it, and I can't really talk about it, but innovation was kind of needed. There have been 4 movies and a lot of material, so the characters are well known and great, but you have to come up with a pretty new take at that point. Does this mean that Shrek 5 might be coming soon? Let's just hope there's gonna be a newer version.
Do in here and get your life back.
I'm not here to get my life back.